Okay. Because where I was going to go with this was when you listen to him today on his Deconstruction podcast. It's actually titled his Deconstruction podcast. He actually he has become so much the opposite of what 20-year-old Joshua Harris was, that he is much less committed to anything than most of my secular friends would be in a million years. People like you finally met Lou, that he has a very strong worldview and very strong convictions on most issues. Joshua Harris is appalling to listen to now, because he is so, his worldview is so vacuous. He just continuously talks about learning from people and growing and expanding and reinterpreting and reconsidering and all these buzzwords that just...
Which, by the way, he made really clear in this interview that he didn't want to do. Right? He says right now, I don't want to engage in a massive theological expedition to think about all these things. It just sounds really exhausting to me, honestly. But he ended up doing just that.
And he did it very quickly. And he's doing it like it. You would think that someone who, it's kind of like the atheist who is so bothered by Christianity, which they technically don't believe exists. You would think someone who just wanted to jettison everything and leave it behind would just jettison everything and leave it behind. But he appears to spend a fair portion of his mental and emotional energy fighting against this thing that he was for so long. And he really has some strong things to say now.
So from his perspective, though, he's viewing all of Christianity as harmful, yes, and that it was all in the same bag. Yes. Which we would say he's throwing out the baby with the bathwater.
I was going to say it's a very, very flagrant baby with the bathwater fallacy.
Because you can't... Okay, so on one hand, you can't solve the sin problem with legalism, with religion. On the other hand, you can't solve it by just hedonism. You can't solve it by just throwing out all rules. Because you're still going to have the misery, you're still going to have the destruction, because living in God's universe and living completely contrary to the way that God has made humans to live is going to cause misery and destruction.